Hi, everyone. I'm Dr. John Douillard. Welcome to our Facebook Live here at LifeSpa.com, where we prove ancient medical wisdom with modern science. And last week, I sent out a newsletter that talked about the results of a weight loss study that I did that was based on 100% lifestyle interventions, which was really amazing. We had about 20 some odd people in our study, and we asked them to eat breakfast and a lunch and a supper, and to make lunch the biggest meal of the day with no snacks. So we just had 3 meals a day, no snacks. And of course, everybody freaked out about not having their snacks and their nibble. But once they got over the hump of doing that, having a good enough breakfast to get them to lunch, a good enough lunch to get them to supper, and then supper all the way till bed, we found some amazing things happen. Half the group voluntarily chose to skip their supper towards the end of the study. We measure their anxiety, depression, cravings, fatigue, exhaustion, and insomnia. And in just 2 weeks after getting off their snacking, all those conditions got better. They slept better. Their anxiety, depression was better. Their cravings were better. They had more energy throughout the day. They weren't crashing and burning throughout the day because we allowed them to get off the sugar as their major source of fuel and give them permission to burn their fat as their major source of fuel. So fat is a stable source of fuel, a long-lasting source of fuel, a sleep through the night source of fuel. And we've all heard about, right? Everybody wants you to burn fat by getting into a ketogenic diet and eating, really high amounts of fat in your diet. Ketogenesis is 75 to 85% of their diet as fat. Now, you got to realize that the pendulum in our dietary world in America loves to swing from one extreme to the next extreme. And when we did nothing but sugar and processed carbohydrates for a very long time, the pendulum has swung to tell us that carbohydrates are the poison and the worst thing on the planet, and wheat is really bad. But when you look at ancient versus modern humans, right, and this is a fact written by a book by Dr. David Lieberman, wrote a book called The Story of the Human Body. He did a deep evaluation of a Harvard professor of the evaluation of ancient versus modern humans. And what was surprising was that the amount of proteins and fats and carbohydrates that we all argue over compared to ancient and modern humans was about the same. What they ate, what we eat today, and what the RDA says was all within 5%. So pretty much identical. We are eating today. You don't want to hear this, and I know you haven't heard this, pretty much what everybody else, what the ancient humans have been eating. The things that leap off the page, though, are things like fiber and potassium. We get 15 grams of fiber per day. They got 100. Well, what does fiber do? Fiber attaches to the bile and takes the bile to the toilet and forces you to make brand new bile. And what's brand new bile? A Pac-Man to gobble up toxins in your liver, clean the little villi of your intestinal tract, scrubs it so it becomes way more efficient at burning fat, a natural, stable source of fuel. So because we sort of screwed that up by eating a bunch of processed foods and overshooting the sugar runway, we've got this pendulum that's shifted to say, eat nothing but fat. A 75 to 85% fat diet is a ketogenic diet, which was made in the 1920s to help us deal with certain neurological conditions as a medicinal diet. The only culture that actually eats a naturally occurring high-fat ketogenic diet is the Inuits, the people in the Arctic Circle, who naturally eat a very high-fat diet. But they acquired a gene to not let them become ketogenic. So it's really interesting, right? The only culture on the planet that actually eats a traditional ketogenic diet actually acquired a gene not to let them become ketogenic. So what does that tell us? It tells us that we should probably not go into ketogenesis because the body usually acquires genes to keep the species alive. So are we, again, is the pendulum swung way over here, eating nothing but fat and protein and vegetables, which is not what traditional humans ever ate? The nutritional cycle in America was an annual cycle. It took more protein and fat in the winter, more leafy greens and low-fat foods to clean out and detoxify and force the fat metabolism in the spring and high carbohydrates at the summer and the end of summer where your fruits and grains were harvested. We have this cyclical thing. And of course, you all know I do publish a free recipe list, grocery list, and superfood list for every single month of the year to motivate us to eat seasonal food, right? So we can get the right bugs from the soil in our gut to change the microbial guard from one season to the next. That's what we should all be doing. And there's good Stanford research that proves that now, that that's exactly what the hunter-gatherers in fact did, is their gut bugs would change from season to season to season. So from a spring, as we move into spring, when I'll burn some extra fat, get rid of that winter weight, that's exactly what nature is trying to do. Give us a more famine-like type diet. We pigged out all winter. Now it's time to, the reserves are gone. We're trying to find foods that are a little bit scarce. We go into our more fasting season, and fasting, not eating a lot of food, is intermittent fasting, is how we go into resetting fat burning, or to sort of become more ketogenic for a period of time, not for the rest of your life. And it didn't come from eating 80% of your diet as fat. It came from not eating. The thing that plagues our Western culture is simply eating too much food. So the weight balancing plan, I have an ebook called the free ebook called the Weight Balancing ebook, which goes through the study that I did, the research, the results, and a really self-guided weight balancing program used with worksheets and all kinds of things. It's called the free ebook called the Weight Balancing ebook. And the steps are really easy. Step 1, a 3 meals a day, no snacks with a bigger lunch, right? Really easy to do for most folks. Drink a lot of water in between meals so you don't feel the craving happening. Then step 2, if you can do step 1, okay, is to have a smaller supper, which is a soup or a salad, and see if you can get away with that. Make lunch bigger, of course, because that's going to give you more energy into the afternoon so you don't feel like you need that big dinner. Then an earlier supper, if step 2 is okay, then an earlier supper before 6 o'clock. So now you're having the kitchen closed at 6 and you wake up at breakfast, have 7. At 7, have breakfast. That's 13 hours of your day. That's officially now intermittent fasting. During that time, the body goes into what's called autophagy, which is a time where the body cleans up the senescent cells, which are the dead cells that screw things up, clean house. That, by the way, is Nobel Prize winning science as well. So that's really cool. And then the last step, another kind of bigger push into autophagy, Nobel Prize science, and cleaning up all the yucky senescent dead cells, is skipping supper 3 to 7 nights per week, which is having nothing from lunch, which maybe you have a later lunch because you're worried you might starve for dinner. Have it at 2 o'clock. Finish lunch at 3 o'clock. Then you have nothing from 3 o'clock all the way till 7 o'clock for breakfast. That's 16 hours of your day. Now you're really in intermittent fast. You're forcing fat metabolism all night long, and you reset fat metabolism. So how cool is that? That's a major message that should happen to all of us every spring. I put that message out loud and clear in our 3-season diet challenge, which is our free monthly eating guide that you can get. We also have starting today, or it might have been yesterday, the first video of my free training called Question Your Digestion, Eat Fad Free, which is a really cool concept, to help educate you to really understand the ins and outs of resetting digestive strength and questioning your digestion for all your health problems versus getting rid of the foods or not eating X or eating an 85% fat diet. Sort of not such a brilliant plan, right? Because it's a pendulum shift and we just keep following the pendulum. Let's go back to logic, which is how we got here, eating seasonally, eating according to our circadian clock, and bringing the balance back. And that's something that you can get for free. It's a free 4 one-hour training series called the Question Your Digestion. It's for free. Just go to my homepage at lifespa.com. Sign up for the free Question Your Digestion training. You'll love it. I promise you it's one of my best free trainings ever. I love the idea of knowing more about your digestion, what you can do at home to take care of it. And don't forget that our kind of Colorado cleanse, spring digestive reset, lymph cleanse, liver cleanse, reset, heal, repair your intestinal skin, and turn your digestive system back on and get rid of all the yuck that's stored in your fat cells all winter. That Colorado cleanse, our guided Colorado cleanse, that starts April 24th, and our registration opens in the end of March coming up soon. So it's kind of dial that in as well as a way to help, reset fat burning. The average person in the Colorado Cleanse in the 2 weeks loses 11 to 17 pounds, which is pretty cool. We measure everybody's results every year. We've been doing this for at least 10 years now. And we have a big group do it every year, twice a year. We have 700 to 800 people do it from all over the world. So become a part of our team, have some fun with us, and cleanse. I do it every year, twice a year. It's great. So that, and then the question your digestion, don't miss that. It's a free training. You're going to love that. And then sign up for our free seasonal eating guide called the 3 Season Diet Challenge. And you get that information every month in your email packet for free. All right. Thank you all very much. And you can get the details of the weight balancing plan I just laid out for you in our free ebook called the free. I know it's a lot of free stuff and it's great. It may be a lot to read, but anyway, use it as a buffet. Take what you need. But that's called the free weight balancing ebook that gives you the step-by-step plan of how to reset fat burning with a lifestyle weight loss plan. Okay. Thanks for listening. I'm Dr. John Douillard.